Hi Virgo, here's a general look at your solar chart for July 2012, and it looks like it's going to be a very challenging month for us all in certain areas at certain times over July, because there's a real potent and very volatile mix going on in the skies, vibrationally speaking. But as a matter of fact, you've got some quite good energies aspecting your sign in a positive kind of a way. Well, the energies of change and transformation, but also there's no reason to suppose that it's going to upset the apple cart as far as your solar chart is concerned. But I just want to mention Neptune. Now, I did mention Neptune last month, but just do it again for good measure. Neptune is going through your opposite sign, Pisces, and you early Virgos may be feeling kind of up in the air or uncertain or downright confused in the area of close personal or professional relationships. Now, this might be your fault, or rather, I shouldn't have put it like that, not your fault, but it might be because you're putting somebody on a pedestal. You're just idealizing something about them or them. And it's not realistic. So whatever's going on, it's not likely to be realistic. There is always a danger with Neptune opposing your Sun, and this is really applying to earlier Virgos, actually, those born in the first week. There's always a risk, you know, that an opposition from Neptune is going to have your imagination running you ragged. So I just wanted to mention that to you. Now, having mentioned that to you, I also want to say that, on the other hand, Neptune here can actually make you feel like you found a soulmate, and we do have many of them, and we're here to teach each other lessons, and sometimes those lessons are quite hard. So all this fuss about the soulmate stuff isn't, you know, walking off into the sunset, living happily ever after necessarily, although if you're on a certain level of evolution and understanding and love and giving and taking in your life, then maybe that can happen. In fact, that surely should be happening. That surely should be the way it should be. But no, soulmates are here, and we as soulmates are here to teach each other lessons. So you could actually have found your soulmate. You not just think you have, but you could have done. But you don't have to put them on a pedestal. And of course, if you do put them on a pedestal, then you might be learning a lesson about that, because you're realizing that you shouldn't have done that pedestal thing, and actually you're not going to do it again. So that's taught you something very valuable. Another way this works is that there can be lingering doubts or confusion about somebody who's not being absolutely straight with you, for whatever their reasons are. Somebody that is like, now you see them, now you don't, sort of thing. And so that's another way, you know, smoke and mirrors, that's Neptune, smoke and mirrors. And as long as you don't get sucked into that world of illusion and delusion and keep your feet on the ground, then you can get the very best of the Neptune transit going through your opposite sign. And it's going to be going through there for over a decade. But at the moment it's affecting or influencing in a minor way or a major way you earlier Virgo people. Now, as the month kicks off, it's a sociable, possibly very progressive phase for you. You could be getting more involved within a club or a community or an organization, just a group of kindred spirits. Also, it's a great time for friendships as well. And you might be giving your attention, though, to goals that you wish to achieve for quite a while, and they've been sort of hanging fire for some reason. Things techno could also be emphasized at this time. That's up until the 22nd. So in general, a governing factor until the 22nd will not be so much as what you know as how well you get on with others and what you might achieve together through others or with others, and a key feature is that it's likely to be sociable and generally friendly vibration, where professional collaborations or social get-togethers or teamwork of various kinds are highlighted. And there's going to be a new moon in this area on the 19th, and that's at a good angle to your sun sign, Virgo, especially you later Virgo people, and later Virgo rising people, and signals new input and fresh starts can be made in the areas that I've mentioned over the month to come. Now, due to the long transit of Venus, authority figures, parents, guardians will tend to see you in a good light. Venus is right up at the top of your solar chart at the moment, which means that you could find an ally, or maybe a series of allies. Possibly that's a female, because Venus is quite a feminine energy, but it doesn't have to be. It might just be some male who's more in touch with his sort of caring, nurturing female side. But whoever this person is, or however it's manifesting, could be invaluable to your overall success and perhaps facilitate you in your general life direction in some way. Someone definitely could be playing a supportive role there, and perhaps helps you to make the right move in the right direction at the right time. Some of you could have a more positive or social kind of interaction with bosses or parents at this time, but also it can be with guides, people who guide you, or those beings who guide you at this time. And you yourself could also be seen as the friendly guide with the helping hand, who takes a firm but friendly stand on things and gives others a step up the ladder as well. So things open up more in the last couple of days anyway of July. So you'll perhaps have a little sort of surprise there in some way. Now, Jupiter has entered this area and came in there on June the 12th, and it's going to stay for about another 11 months. So that really does underpin much of what I've just said about Venus. Jupiter, I call it the learning through doing planet. And he would generally tend to put you on the path of expansion in all matters to do with your general life direction, your career, your profession, and anything to do with your general ambitions in life over that long transit. But particularly just at the moment, Venus and Jupiter are working very strongly together in that area of your solar chart. And even though Venus will be moving out of there in August, Jupiter will stay there for a very long time. Your ruling planet Mercury is working from deeper levels this month. Your mind tends to be actively introspective. You kind of zone out a little bit maybe sometimes. Maybe you've got one eye looking in and the other eye looking out. And definitely you'll be more aware of your inner world. Your intuition is likely to increase. You could draw upon dreams maybe, some of you, memories, and just perhaps be more reflective and contemplative more often during this time that Mercury is here. And definitely it's a good time to be beavering away at some sort of mental focus behind the scenes, perhaps as a form of preparation, or perhaps you're working with others in a kind of very sort of close-knit, cloistered sort of little bubble of some kind. Emotions, though, can be nearer the surface. You're feeling your emotions more. Others can push your buttons a little bit more. But watch that you don't become your own worst enemy because you're thinking negative thoughts, or you're just going round and round and round in the same sort of negative circle. And maybe you react inappropriately to triggers, outside triggers. So maybe some of you might be looking at some of that patterning that has been with you for a long time. So you could anyway be a little preoccupied. sometimes have a little bit more sensitivity with the emotions, zoning out a little bit more, but definitely a very, very good time to put your mind into some subject which is absorbing, which takes you out of yourself, which gives you an avenue almost of escape. And definitely be listening to your inner guidance, your angels, your guides, your wisdom, your wise old voice within, and move beyond whatever is now getting in the way of your happiness and well-being. Mercury does go retrograde from the 15th onwards, so that may mean that some things seem uncertain or undecided, or you're not clear, but just to trust that there's support coming from invisible hands, from the unseen realms, and just hold that vision clearly of what you'd like. Hold the dream of how you'd like it to be, with feeling and emotion. Don't forget that bit, and be alert to the signs and portents, and such an approach will work very well for you during this transit. Mars leaves your sun sign on the 4th of July after being there in your sign for more than 8 months, since last November. So see previous forecasts if you want to check up on the effects, in retrospect of that long transit. From July the 4th and into late August, Mars will be in an area which is very materialistic, to do with finances, property, you having to put physical effort, maybe getting things organized here, related to basic resources, maybe buying, selling, renting for some of you. So working harder, maintaining or improving the piggy bank, seeing how to make the most of assets, getting your hands on certain things, or just seeing ways to sort of make the best of certain things, but being very practical and resourceful about improving the physical side, the comfort zone, perhaps the mattress, or improving things through the veggie plot, or with getting something nice for yourself, and changing your image a little bit with all this very positive energy at the top of your solar chart to do with your career and your general life direction. So sort of presenting yourself in a different kind of a way, having a bit of a makeover. It could be like that. And doing the best for yourself through therapies and diet and exercise and that sort of thing. I'm not suggesting that you do that all. I'm just sort of throwing out the suggestions. You can pick, whichever one. But hey, pick a few if you like. Probably have quite a few ideas of your own. But just don't overreach your resources or make snap decisions about a resource, whether it's a minor or a major resource, because Mars can be very impulsive, and your vitality can also be overstretched because you're spreading yourself too thin, trying to get things how you want them to be in this very materialistic physical area. But possessions or any other bit of territory that you have or that you want to get your hands on may need a very motivated and decisive approach, or anything you want to improve may need a decisive approach, and that includes your skilled application of your talents, Virgo. Really, you tend to be a sign that underestimates your values, so this is a good time to be really working on that side of your personality and realizing that you have a great value, that you have a great worth, and that you are responsible for your particular slice of God. Because we're all a little tiny slice, that's how I see it anyway. You take up one moment in the great creation, and that moment is your pattern that you came in with, and it is not fixed in stone. It is infinitely elastic, and you can be very, very creative with it and be changing it and growing through it during your life. But with Mars here, if your vitality has been overstretched, You need to get organized on these basic levels, with the comfort zone, looking after yourself, and externally also making the most of assets, but also internally, those assets called gifts that you came in with. And do whatever you can to initiate things to improve physical well-being or your material situation. And that, as I say, that Mars energy stays in there until late August. And then from the 22nd, you could be beavering away more in the background, keeping a bit more of a low profile, just getting on with things behind the scenes or in a little sort of closed circle of some kind. Making yourself available to others, though, very much being the support, as you often are, Virgo, because this is the area of higher service. But sometimes you won't be in the mood, and that's when we really do perform our service, when we don't want to have to do it, but we still do it all the same. But also, this is your time from the 22nd to draw the line in the sand and to take more time out for yourself as well. This time is good news for arty or spiritual Virgos because it'll allow you to draw on material from the subconscious. And at the very end of the month, as I said, there could be something that happens that could, make you go, oh, that's all right. It could be like that, or it could be something more kind of important than that. So hopefully it'll be something which makes you smile. Now, that's it for July. If you go to my website, if you're not there already, you can find what's going on with the slower moving outer planets. That will be useful to sort of get the bigger picture here, because this is just really basically about the faster moving inner planets. And if you know your rising sign or your moon sign, then you might get more information if you listen to the forecast for those two. I wish you well, and I'll see you the next time.